Speaking of teams that are on fire, that are doing well, fire there that works well. The Sea Dragons have won their 5th straight. They beat the Arlington Renegades on March 31st on the road. A 24-15 winner. Player of the game, quarterback Ben DiNucci, 21 completions on 32 attempts, 266 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and 2 rushing yards, leading the team in rushing yards. As former league leader in rushing yards, as well as the top running back on the roster, Morgan Ellison, was inactive this game. This was a nice game to watch take place. I mean, the Sea Dragons defense is something that I talked about in week 3 when they got their first win. I was like, hey, these guys, the defense has played well. And I talked about it when they got their second win and their third win. And the defense, I mean, holding them to 15 is great. We've known about this offense since the draft happened, since the rosters were made. And they seem to be putting it together. DiNucci did have an interception on the day, so we got to work on that. But I don't think there's been a day where the team has been able to go clean turnovers wise, so that's something to clean up. But I mean, 5 wins in a row, that's great. They're the hottest team in the XFL. Somehow they're 3rd in the XFL North, their division/conference, because of the fact that they got off to that 0-2 start. But they got a good chance to rectify that this upcoming week. So before I get there, we have a little bit of a tidbit of team news. March 28th, the game against the Guardians, the Orlando Guardians on the road last week, was actually the most watched XFL game of the week with 1.1 million average viewers. So that's kind of a cool tidbit. Looking ahead, they sit at a 5-2 record, as I mentioned, 3rd in the XFL North. Their next game is against the DC Defenders at home at Lumen Field on April 9th with a 4 p.m. Pacific time start. That's on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus if you're not going to be at Lumen Field for that one. And this is against the team that you lost to week 1. There was the whole thing when the DC fans were throwing lemons on the field. And you're playing a team that sits atop the XFL North, so you have a chance. Wait, are they atop the XFL North? I don't want to be sure about that. I could be wrong because it doesn't seem like Washington DC should be in that. Nope, they are in the XFL North. Yeah, they're 6-1. The Battlehawks are 5-2. Seattle is 5-2 as well, but considering the fact that St. Louis beat Seattle head-to-head, there's the tiebreaker there. Seattle's record is good is better than the entire XFL South, but because of the teams that are in the XFL North, Seattle sits at 3rd in the division. So that's a big battle as well.